I, Chair Thomas Kyle, call the Hybrid Electrical and Elevator Board meeting of November 16, 2023 to order at 9:30 a.m. Section 1B, roll call. Debbie, please call the roll.
Yes, sir. William Barlow.
Here.
Thank you, William. You're a little loud. Elizabeth Bunga.
Here.
Sara Young.
Here.
Robert Lazalier.
Here.
Rob McNeill. I saw you earlier, Rob. Rob McNeill. We'll come back to Rob. Ryan Richard.
Here.
Mr. Richards is in the room. Richard Rudder.
Here.
Al Shucker.
Here.
Ken Spencer,
Here.
who is also present in the room. Vice-chair Jon Flegel
Here.
in the room. And Chair Thomas Kyle
Here.
in the room. Thank you, Mr. Chair. Let me ask Rob McNeill, are you connected? Okay, we'll just note the time when he reconnects. We do have a quorum, Mr. Chair.
Thank you. Does any member have any changes to the agenda that it already includes late submission? I, Chair Kyle, rule the agenda in order and business to include the late submission approved as published. Item 1D, I, Chair Kyle, rule the draft minutes of September 28, 2023 final. Date of the next meeting is January 25th, 2024. The Chair announces the calendar of the 24 calendar of board meeting dates, which must be included in the packet. Okay, we have a couple of members that are leaving. This is a farewell to Amy Byer. The governor makes appointments of over 250 boards and commissions representing the broad range of areas and issues to the state of Oregon. Every board and commission is an integral part of the state participant in state government. Although board involvement may require a great deal of time and energy, the rewards of public service make it worthwhile. It's important to keep in mind that members are appointed to a board to serve the public at large. The concerns and points of view of all interested parties must be represented and considered, but ultimately, the primary responsibility of every board meeting is to protect the health, safety, and welfare of the general public. Amy's first board meeting was November 19, 2020. She served the board seat representing the public at large. Although Amy did not serve a complete 4-year term, her intent was to leave on good terms, and she had great experience and learned a lot. The Division Board bids a farewell to Amy Byer and wishes well in her future endeavors. And the second person leaving is Brian Ledoux. He was appointed representing the position of Representative Industrial Plants, regularly employed licensing electrician, September 28, 2022. Although Brian did not complete a 4-year term of service, he left the board in good standings. Brian accepted a role with the manufacturing company in Minnesota and has already relocated. Individuals are usually recommended by a professional association or special interest group and are expected to provide the board with technical expertise and to bring the point of view of the group to the board. But the members are not appointed to a board to serve only as representative of a specific group. In Brian's short term of service, he engaged at every board meeting he attended and kept in mind his primary responsibility of the membership was to the public, always considering the points of view of all interested parties. The board and division wish Brian well in his new role. Thank you both for attending. Ian, is there public comment?
Thank you, Chair Kyle. Ian Paik, analyst with the division. We did not receive any requests for general public comment. However, I would like to take a moment just in case there's anyone in the room or online that would like to provide general public comment to the board. Hearing none, that concludes general public comment. Thank you.
Okay, agenda item 3A, electrical program update. Brian Chris.
Price. Yeah. For the record, Brian Price, Electrical Program Chief. Start my update for you today with the status of the Oregon Electrical Specialty Code. This code became effective October 1st for permits issued on or after that date. The current Oregon amendments are available for download on the electrical program page on the VII.D website. Electrical licensing exams are now generated using the updated exam bank that incorporates the 2023 Oregon Electrical Specialty Code. We're currently working on the narration part of the training video for the OIC training, and look for that on our website when it becomes available. I recently inquired about how many EV-ITP certified electricians are in Oregon from the National EV-ITP program. As of a few weeks ago, there are 344 electricians that have that training and certification. In your board packet, you'll find a Chief's Appeal concerning Electrical Code Section 680.14, corrosive environments. I received this appeal from electrical contractor and rendered a decision on this after consulting with members industry, VII.D technical staff. I'd like to thank Tony Rocco, Structural Chief, and Eric McMullen for providing structural mechanical code references that you'll see in the appeal decision. Tom asked if I would talk to the board regarding the rules of Chief's Appeals. The statute regarding a Chief's Appeal can be found in ORS 479.853, and you have that available as well. The statute allows any person to appeal a decision made by an inspection authority, and the appeal is first made to the Chief Electrical Inspector to render a decision. The decision I make may be appealed to the Electrical and Elevator Board. If that appeal contains other codes outside the electrical code, the Electrical and Elevator Board decision may be appealed to the Director of DCBS. All Chief's Appeals are site-specific, but if the Electrical and Elevator Board determines the appeal decision to be a major code interpretation, they could ask that I distribute that as a code interpretation. One other thing that I learned in processing the appeal was that the appeal application form has a requirement for the local jurisdiction's building official to sign, acknowledging an appeal to the state chief has been submitted from their jurisdiction. We encourage contractors to work with their electrical inspectors and building officials before sending in an appeal. The other specifics to this appeal in today's board packet I can talk about when it comes up on the agenda. With the code change happening last month, we've been processing a large amount of continuing education applications for the new cycle. I'd like to thank Ian Pake and Becky Raska from Building Codes for their hard work getting the continuing education board packet ready for your review. I'd also like to thank our volunteer members of the CE Review Committee for all their time and effort to get this work done. They're Cindy Rieger, Topher Edwards, and up until recently, Doug Rudisell. With Doug's departure on the committee, we're looking to add someone to the CE Review Committee. If you're interested, please contact me. That's my update for the board today. Does anyone have any questions for me? Mr. Chair, that's my electrical program
Mr.
update.
Chair, for the record, if we may note that Rob McNeill has joined the meeting. Thank you.
Thank you. Okay, agenda item 3B, elevator program update. Warren Hartung. Warren on board. I guess I don't see him on the calls. I guess the inspection chart has been submitted to us, and it's on in our packet if anybody wants to review it. Item 3C, enforcement update. Andrea Simmons.
Good morning. Through the chair and through the board, my name is Andrea. Sorry, we'll try this again. Good morning, through the chair and to the board members. My name is Andrea Simmons. I'm the current enforcement manager for the division. Julia has actually been offered another job, and her last day with the division is December 1st. So I've been working really hard getting myself back up to speed. For those of you that don't know me, I've been with the division for over 27 years. I've managed a variety of different programs within the division, to include the enforcement section where I was manager for about 6 years. And so I'm looking forward to this opportunity. and we'll be providing more updates as time goes on.
Okay, thank you. Item 3D, 7 consent orders. Michael?
Good morning, Chair and members of the board. For the record, my name is Michael Meyer Hamilton. I'm a contested case representative with the division. Before the board is a summary of consent orders that we recently negotiated on the board's behalf. We've entered into consent agreements in 7 cases since the last board meeting. All settlements, including amounts owed and suspended civil penalties, fall within the guidelines on the matrix, and they contain the standard conditions. The first 2 cases on the agenda are related. The first one, C 2022-161, in the matter of Paul Nelson. The respondent was assessed a penalty of $24,000 for directing, supervising, or controlling the making of electrical installations without a supervising electrician license, and for performing electrical installations without the supervision, direction, and control of a general supervising electrician. Respondent has agreed to pay $10,000 with the remaining $14,000 suspended for a period of 5 years. Respondent has agreed to a revocation of his journeyman electrician license commencing January 31st, 2024. Respondent has agreed to a denial of his application for a general supervising electrician license. Respondent has agreed to be disqualified for 5 years from obtaining an Oregon electrical contractor license and a general supervising electrician license. Respondent has agreed to be disqualified from obtaining an Oregon journeyman electrician license and any other Oregon electrician license not previously mentioned in the consent order for a period of 4 years. Lastly, under the director's authority, the respondent has agreed to be disqualified from obtaining an Oregon inspector certification, Oregon electrical specialty code inspector certification, and Oregon residential electrical certification for a period of 5 years, commencing on the date the consent order is signed by both parties. The second case on the agenda, C 2023-7, in the matter of Winter Electric Construction. The respondent in this case was assessed a penalty of $49,000 for performing electrical installations without a continuously employed general signing supervising electrician, submitting false or incorrect information to obtain a permit, and for failing to ensure electrical installations were made under the direction and control of a continuously employed full-time signing supervisor. Specifically, respondent in this case designated a deceased individual as the company's signing supervisor and falsified information. Respondent has agreed to pay a penalty of $20,000 with the remaining $29,000 suspended for a period of 5 years. Respondent has also agreed its electrical contractor license will be revoked commencing on January 31st, 2024. And respondent has agreed it is disqualified from obtaining an Oregon electrical contractor license for a period of 5 years, commencing on January 31st, 2024. The third case on the agenda is C 2023-52 in the matter of Daryl Rice Abbey. The respondent in this case was assessed a penalty of $6,000 for performing electrical installations without an electrical contractor license, a supervising or journeyman electrician license, or a permit. Respondent has agreed to pay $2,000 with the remaining $4,000 suspended for a period of 5 years. The fourth case on the agenda is C 2023-63 in the matter of Marin VIP Building LLC. The respondent was assessed a penalty of $9,000 for performing electrical installations without an Oregon electrical contractor license, for performing electrical installations without a permit, and for allowing unlicensed electrical installations. Respondent agrees to pay a penalty of $1,500 with the remaining $7,500 suspended for a period of 5 years. The fifth case on the agenda is C 2023-113 Deep Creek Construction LLC. The respondent in this case was assessed a penalty of $6,000 for performing electrical installations without an Oregon electrical contractor license, for performing electrical installations without a permit, and for allowing unlicensed electrical installations. Respondent agrees to pay $1,500 with the remaining $4,500 suspended for a period of 5 years. The sixth case on the agenda is C 2023-114 in the matter of Jeremy Workman. The respondent was assessed a penalty of $2,000 for performing unlicensed electrical installations Respondent agrees to pay $500 with the remaining $1,500 suspended for a period of 5 years. And the seventh and final case on the agenda is C 2023-99 in the matter of Lon Wolf. The respondent was assessed a penalty of $6,000 for performing electrical installations without an electrical contractor license, without a supervising journeyman or limited residential electrician license. Respondent has agreed to pay a penalty of $1,500 with $4,500 suspended for a period of 5 years. I'm happy to answer any questions you may have, and this does require, these items do require a motion.
Thank you. Any questions from the board?
I'd like to make a motion to adopt the 7 cases proposed for resolution as outlined in the Enforcement Board report and issue final orders.
I'll second that motion.
Okay. The motion's been made and seconded. Is there any discussion? Okay. Debbie, would you call the roll?
Yes, sir. William Barlow,
Aye.
Elizabeth Bunga,
Aye.
Sara Young,
Aye.
Robert Lazalier,
Aye.
Rob McNeill,
Aye.
Ryan Richards,
Aye.
Richard Rutter,
Aye.
Al Shucker,
Aye.
Ken Spencer,
Aye.
Vice-chair Jon Flegel,
Aye.
and Chairman Thomas Kyle.
Aye.
Yes.
You're missing one.
Oh, Frank Sonovan?
Aye.
Sorry, thank you.
Okay. The motion has been carried. Thank you.
Thank you.
Agenda item 5, appeals. This is a final decision of appeal from the Oregon Specialty Code, sections 680-14, wiring methods in a corrosive environment. Brian Chris.
Thanks, Chris. Good morning again. Sorry about that. Again, for the record, Brian Christ, the Electrical Program Chief. This appeal came in looking for a clear definition of what a corrosive environment is. Looking at the code, it asked to take a look at the OESC that required all wiring and equipment in a swimming pool equipment building to be listed for installation in a corrosive environment where swimming pool sanitation chemicals are stored and used. Looking at the definition back in the 2020 code, since this permit was associated with the 2020 OESC, in that definition that was in the OESC that you have in your it's on page 4 of the appeal. Reading through that definition, there's concerns there that there's some ambiguity in terms of that corrosive environment definition. So it left us looking for other places in the state code and state statute to see if we get a further clear definition of that corrosive environment. In consultation with the state structural chief.
I've already done 17 competitive power.
Sorry.
The church license.
Excuse me for interrupting. Elizabeth Bunga, could you mute your
They come in on this building
microphone,
from
please?
the
Sorry about that.
Yeah.
There we go. Thank you. Looking at this definition, we saw that the structural code had some further clarification on these different types of areas and when mechanical ventilation is required. One of the things that we were looking at, the new definition for 2023 added the words in without adequate ventilation. So with that new definition, it's still a concern of what is adequate. So moving into the structural side of things, they do have some tables there, and you can see that in your board packet as well, concerning MAQs for different types of substances. And when you go over those substances, that's when mechanical ventilation is required by the structural and mechanical code. So, looking at this and going through the discussion and everything, what it came to, providing that decision, it really became a determination whether we actually had a corrosive environment there or whether mechanical ventilation was required. After making a site inspection and looking at the pool equipment room that was in this residence, the storage that they had was definitely, it was 1 5-gallon bucket of stabilized pool tabs. And I didn't think that was over the maximum allowed quantities for those chemicals. So where I made that decision to say that the OS, in the last, or actually not the last page, the decision that the OSC does require wiring methods used in corrosive environments to be listed and identified for use. And the corrosive environment will be determined based on MAQs found in the OSSC, the Structural Specialty Code. And that the wiring methods and devices installed in that swimming pool equipment building at the above address do meet the requirements of 680.14. Anybody have any questions with that?
Through the chair, this is just specific to this address and this site, correct?
Correct. Chief's appeals are, when you take a look at 479853, not sure if it says it there, but they are site specific and permit specific. So for this permit and for this site.
Mr. Chair, Elizabeth Bunga did have a question as well, but I don't see her on the screen now.
She's in the corner.
Can you see me
Yes.
and hear me? Okay, thank you very much. So I have a few thoughts about this. I know that it's very specific to the situation, and I appreciate that you went out to the site to see what exactly was going on. I talked to one of my colleagues here who is a residential electrical inspector, and we both kind of go, well, okay, the UF cable, it's listed to go underground. I'm not sure how much of a stretch it would have been for the contractor just once it kind of came up into the pool house to go ahead and put it in conduit. So there's that. The other aspect that I'm a little concerned about is sort of the administrative path to get to this different programs. And because we have a building inspection program, we have an electrical inspection program, as well as going from code to code to arrive at a definition. So as a code official, I can appreciate the approach to basically being creative to come to some type of definition of what a corrosive environment is, since the NFPA VII.D seem to lack that definition for you to arrive at something. I do worry about this setting a precedent for future appeals of building officials in the state of Oregon and their decisions. So I kind of am split half and half. Also, I just really didn't have enough time to research the background of this appeal. It was presented in the board packet. We don't often get these packets that far in advance. And of course, a lot of us are working full-time jobs and have families, and it's very hard to read through everything. So I am interested to know what the administrative path behind how you approach this was. I think that would be very informational to other building officials across the state. So I just wanted to add that to this discussion.
The admitted, so the administrative pathway is outlined in 479.853. And that was a late submission added to your board packet there. Is there? Did you have a specific question about what is in 853 or?
Sorry. Could you repeat that?
Well, one of the things that was added late submission was the Oregon Revised Statute 479.853, and it's titled Appeal Procedure, Distribution of Major Code Interpretations and Decisions.
I think, sorry, I'm getting phone calls. I think that what I'm interested to know, and again, I haven't had any time to really research this, is I'd have to dive into the statutes and administrative rules for both the electrical program as well as the building inspection program. I like to lay these things out in order to have to be able to make an informed decision. I'm just letting you know what my review of this appeal has been for the last 24 hours. Hasn't been a lot of time, but I do worry about how this approach, I mean, for example, the NFPA 70, a lot of electrical inspectors that I know definitely use the handbook, which the handbook is supplemental. It's not necessarily, it has pictures in it.
Mm-hmm.
In it, you have underground wiring in section 680.11, and it explains the following wiring methods, which are repeated underneath 680.14, same type of conduit, basically.
Mm-hmm.
And then, of course, you have a picture, exhibit 680.2 that shows, excuse me, that's not it. It's 680.6, and it has a pool house with a pool, and it titles this a corrosive area in accordance with 680.14A. So I can kind of see how the building official for that jurisdiction was trying to be consistent with what the code was saying based on some of this information. I guess I have some homework to do to look through that, but I definitely will. I'd like to discuss it with my colleagues.
Sure, and I'd be happy to have that discussion or answer any questions, if you have questions that come out of that. Definitely be happy to do that.
Through the chair. So something else to kind of on lines of this is you want to look into the manufactured listings of that products being installed. Some listings, they are sealed components, so they don't classify as a chemical exposure areas.
Mm-hmm.
Also, the commodity piece of individual tablets can be individually wrapped also, which may, kind of skate away from, a big corrosive environment. So I would start looking into that sections there.
Mm-hmm.
Also in the NEC in, I believe it's 300.6, there's different areas inside there which will outline a little bit of the corrosive areas also.
Sure. Thanks for that comment.
You bet.
Brian, I noticed in this 479.853 that it can be, the appeal is first to you, and then if a further appeal could be to the electrical board. Are there time limits on this? How long do they have after an inspection to appeal it to you, and then how long after you make your decision do they have to appeal it to the board?
Mr. Chair, I'm not aware of any time limits associated with that, but that's just my limited knowledge on that.
Through the chair, I do agree with the decision. I'm a little concerned that this will get used outside of this ruling. So, like I said, I agree with it, but this is, I would like to point out that this is site-specific. And some of these tables used are just particularly for this site.
Correct. Yes, I'd back that up saying it is site-specific and also permit-specific, that permit.
Okay, any further discussion or questions? Okay, item 7A now. Ian?
Thank you, Chair Kyle. Ian Paik, analyst with the division. The division requests that the board consider the Continuing Education Committee's recommendations regarding the continuing education courses and instructors for this review cycle. This October cycle, the review committee evaluated 185 applications from 26 organizations. Ultimately, the committee recommended 90 courses and 42 instructors for approval. The committee also recommended 49 courses and 4 instructors for disapproval. This agenda item will require a motion, examples of which are in your agenda packet. Thank you.
Through the chair, I'd like to make a motion to approve the committee's recommendations for approval or denial of courses or instructors.
I'll second.
Okay, a motion has been made and seconded to approve the committee's recommendations. Any discussion? Debbie, would you call the roll?
Yes, sir. William Barlow,
Aye.
Elizabeth Bunga,
Aye.
Sara Young,
Aye.
Robert Lazalier,
Aye.
Rob McNeill,
Aye.
Ryan Richards,
Aye.
Richard Rudder,
Aye.
Al Shucker,
Aye.
Ken Spencer,
Aye.
Frank Sonovan,
Aye.
Vice-chair Jon Flegel,
Aye.
and Chair Thomas Kyle.
Aye.
Mr. Chairman, the motion passes unanimously.
Thank you, Debbie. Item 7B, board review of retroactive request from Pacific Inside Electric for licensed participants to receive credit for courses taken in electrical vehicle infrastructure training program. Ian?
Thank you, Chair Kyle. Ian Paik, analyst with the division. This agenda item is a retroactive continuing education credit request from Pacific Inside Electrical JATC for 6 hours of retroactive code-related credit for the participants listed in their letter that completed their electrical vehicle infrastructure training course. This agenda item will require a motion to either approve, amend and approve, or disapprove the retroactive credit request. Thank you.
I'll make a motion to approve the retroactive request received from Pacific Inside Electrical for licensed participants to receive credit for course taken in electrical vehicle infrastructure training program.
And I'll second that motion.
Okay, a motion's been made and seconded to approve the request from Pacific Inside Electrical. Any discussion? Debbie, would you call the roll again?
Yes, sir. William Barlow,
Aye.
Elizabeth Bunga,
Aye.
Sara Young,
Aye.
Robert Lazalier,
Aye.
Rob McNeill,
Aye.
Ryan Richards,
Aye.
Richard Rudder,
Aye.
Al Shucker,
Aye.
Ken Spencer,
Aye.
Frank Sonovan,
Aye.
Vice-chair Jon Flegel,
Aye.
and Chair Thomas Kyle.
Aye.
Mr. Chairman, the motion passes unanimously.
Thank you. Item 7C, board review of retroactive request from Mike Holt Enterprises for participants to receive credit for courses in the 2023 NEC State Changes Live Seminar. Ian?
Thank you, Chair Kyle. Ian Paik, analyst with the division. This agenda item is a retroactive continuing education credit request from Mike Holt Enterprises for 8 hours of retroactive code change credit for the participants listed in their letter that completed their 2023 NEC Changes Live Seminar course. This agenda item will require a motion to either approve, amend and approve, or disapprove this retroactive credit request. Thank you.
I move to approve the retroactive request received from Mike Holt Enterprises for licensed participants to receive credit for course taken in 2023 NEC Changes Live Seminar.
I'll second.
A motion's been made and seconded to approve the request from Mike Holt Enterprises. Any discussion? Debbie, would you call the roll again?
Yes, sir. William Barlow,
Aye.
Elizabeth Bunga,
Aye.
Sara Young,
Aye.
Robert Lazalier,
Aye.
Rob McNeill,
Aye.
Ryan Richard,
Aye.
Richard Rutter,
Aye.
Al Tucker,
Aye.
Ken Spencer,
Aye.
Frank Sonnabin,
Aye.
Vice-chair Jon Flegel,
Aye.
and Chair Thomas Kyle.
Aye.
Mr. Chairman, the motion passes unanimously.
Okay, thank you. Item 7D, board review request received from Russell Frizzell for extension of license requirements under hardship or illness under OR AR 918-030-0240. Ryan?
Thank you, Chair Kyle. Ian Paik, Analyst with the Division. This agenda item is a request from Russell Frizzell for a license renewal extension for hardship or illness. His letter detailing the request is included in your agenda packet. This agenda item will require a motion to either approve, amend and approve, or disapprove the extension request. Mr. Frizzell, are you here, and would you like to speak on your agenda item?
Yes, I'm here. Mr. Chairman, and to the board, I'd like to thank you for allowing me to speak to you today. For the record, I, Russell Wayne Frizzell, approached the board today and request a renewal extension of electrical license for hardship or illness under Division 30 General Licensing Requirements 918-030-0240. I submitted an email to the board on October 9th, 2023, which you may already have. In that email, I stated the primary reason for my request was due to the leukemia diagnosis, daily treatment, side effects, and loss of my mother, October 2019. The side effects and other medical issues have kept me from working to date. I would like to point out that that a leukemic tumor was a coincidental finding to a right hip x-ray. I was having problems at work with my right hip. I also stated in the email request that I was nearing remission, and I'd like to point out that I've reached the remission mark as of 19 October. I'm thankful to the care that I've received from the VA and OHSU to getting me to this point. If the board wishes to hear, I can point out other key medical issues since the original leukemia diagnosis. There are 10 events. Does the board wish to hear these? Question to the board.
I don't.
We have them in our packet. I think that.
There's many if you would like to hear them, besides the ones that I listed in the request.
Mr. Frizzell, they also got the additional information. I just felt that wasn't,
Okay.
we shouldn't post all that information to the division website, but the board members do have that additional information.
So the board has no questions in regard to those other incidences?
I do not.
Okay, so basically what I've had is 2 to 8 doctor's appointments per month over the last 4 years, along with chronic side effects from medications and recovery from several surgeries. That hasn't left me a lot of time to worry about much other than my health. What I've done so far is I've enrolled in a 24-hour course, electrical course. I haven't started it yet. I've ordered the NFPA 70 2023. I'm ready to obtain the Oregon Specialty Code and enroll in the Oregon OSHA online learning course, which I've done those in the past. What I'll do is I'll complete the 24-hour continuing education course as soon as possible. and whatever the Oregon law and the board may require. In summation, as I've become more tolerant to my daily treatments and soon hope to lower my medications due to the remission, I'm hoping that the board will approve my request, as I believe I have a lot to contribute to the electrical trade. Are there any questions from the board?
I have a question. First off, I'd like to say congratulations on your remission. That's outstanding. In the letter that we have in our board packet, it says that your last day of work was the 19th of October, 2022. Is this correct? Because it seems
No.
like with the timeline, yeah, that's incorrect.
2019, excuse me,
Okay,
was my
thank you.
day of work. And that was for CBRE at Amazon Troutdale.
Okay, thank you for that clarification.
Any other questions?
Through the chair, I had a question about, I believe that there were some extensions granted due to COVID for license renewals. Do you happen to know those, Mr. Chief, or?
Yeah, I was gonna say, okay.
I don't remember. It was a one-time thing. It was an extension.
Yeah, I was going to say, that I'm probably going to need some help with that recollection.
Sorry, Alana Cox, Administrator for the Division. So yes, we did do a one-time extension during COVID of license renewals, but it didn't continue out. It was just for that cycle.
Thank you. So as far as time to get continuing ed done, you had over a year to do that, and then within that, you had a time frame to get your classes and all that, fees and everything else paid.
Was that a question for me?
No, it was just basically.
Okay.
Okay, so just to be clear, so for everyone, what you're actually asking for is just to extend the time to get your continuing ed completed to be relicensed?
Yes.
Okay.
Yes, I had other things on my mind. Surviving all of this was on my mind, and I didn't know whether or not I was gonna make it through any of this. Just to let you know, I was at 89% on my blood work for leukemia, and at 90% to 100% untreated, you only have 2 years to live. And I caught it just in time, just coincidentally. And, I was on massive medication, and I stayed at home.
Could we get someone from the building codes to lay out what the timeline looks like as far as when he was expected, so that everybody has that information as far as when the time frame that he had exactly to get those CEUs and pay and get his license renewed, including the COVID extension?
If we have the other board business, we can go and get that information.
Morning, Mr. Chairman, members of the board. For the record, Tony Rocco with the division. Great question. So the rest of the agenda is pretty short here, so you have a couple of options. We could definitely put together some type of comparison timeline for you to consider this, but I would imagine you might want to table it then to the next meeting to give us some time, or you could potentially do a recess. You have all sorts of options there. I hope that helps. Thank you.
Can you go ahead and start the program?
Through the chair, for the record again, Andrea Simmons with the Building Codes Division. So it looks like his license expired on October 1st of 2022. By rule, the license goes into what's called an expired and renewable status, which means for a year, for 12 months. And during those 12 months, which ended on 10/1 of 23, it gives the licensee time to take their continuing ed, pay the fees during that time without having to retest. Again, that ended on 10/1 of 23. So without a motion from the board on this particular case to extend it, what would happen is that he would have to apply and retest.
So he is eligible to retest.
He would have to apply and retest, yes.
Okay.
So just to clarify, he was able to start taking CEUs for this cycle. It would have been October after he renewed for October 2019. So it's been, the 3 years that he had originally was October 1st, 2019 to October 1st, 2022. And then the grace year till put it to October 1st, 2023.
Through the chair. So this, based on the record that I have before me, the information before me, he did meet the requirements for the renewal for the 2019 cycle. I'm not sure when he took code change for that cycle, but he did meet it. The new code license cycle expired on 10/1 of 22. And so while his license went into expired status at that particular time, the board by rule allows 12 months to finish your continuing ed and to get that license renewed without retesting.
Okay, thank you.
I would like to make a motion to disapprove the request received for Russell Frizzell for extension of the license requirements for hardship or illness based on the timeline outlined and the expiration timeline to get all your CEUs completed.
We have a motion. Is anyone willing to second? If the motion fails for lack of a second, does anybody else like to make a motion or table the issue?
I would like to make a motion to approve the request received from Russell Frizzell for extension of license requirements of hardship or illness. And I would like to add that normally we are very strict about the amount of time that you have, and with, with 4 years, if there's any amount of time in there that feels adequate to get those CEUs, I'm obviously a journeyman electrician on the board myself, then to us, or to me, it feels like then you have the adequate amount of time. But with being diagnosed in 2019 being the year in which you were able to start getting those CEUs and not going into remission until recently, I feel like you weren't able to, I personally feel like you weren't able to have the adequate amount of time to get those CEUs taken care of and get your license renewed. So that is personally why I am making that motion.
Second.
We have a comment from.
Through the chair to the board. On that motion, one of the things that the board should consider is putting a time frame on the extension. The individual's asking for an extension to meet the continue education requirements for the 2022 cycle. So we need to know what that time frame would be for him to complete those so we could renew.
Do you want me to start over, or do you just want me to add an amount of time?
Through the chair, if it's okay, just add a time frame.
First of all, can I ask, is there a time frame that is typical?
Through the chair, based on my experience, we've gone anywhere from 3 months to 6 months typically. These don't happen very often, but typically we try to give a little bit of time for them to, one, get signed up and then take the class.
Sarah, did you want to amend your motion then?
Yeah. I would like to amend my motion to add that he has 3 months to finish the requirements and pay to have his license renewed.
I second that emotion.
Okay, a motion's been made and seconded to approve his request with a 3-year limitation, 3-month limitation to complete the process. Any discussion? Hey, Debbie, would you call the roll?
Yes, sir. William Barlow,
Aye.
Elizabeth Bunga,
Aye.
Sara Young,
Aye.
Robert Lazalier,
Aye.
Robert McNeill,
Aye.
Ryan Richards,
Nay.
Richard Rudder,
Aye.
Al Shucker,
Aye.
Tim Spencer,
Aye.
Frank Sonovan,
Aye.
Vice-chair Jon Flegel,
Aye.
and Chair Thomas Kyle.
Aye.
Mr. Chairman, the motion passes.
Okay, item 7E, late submission. It's a request from Jeri Hall for licensed participants to receive credit for courses taken on the 2023 NEC solar PV systems and energy storage systems and NFPA codes. Ian?
Thank you, Chair Kyle. Ian Paik, analyst with the division. This agenda item is a retroactive continuing education credit request from Jeri Hall for participants listed in their letter for 2 courses, Solar PV Systems and the 2023 NEC, and Solar PV plus Energy Storage Systems and NFPA codes for 4 hours of code change and 2 hours of code-related credit. This agenda item will require a motion to either approve, amend and approve, or disapprove the license renewal, the retroactive credit request. Thank you.
I'll make a motion to approve the retroactive request received from Jeri Hall for licensed participants to receive credit for courses taken in the 2023 NEC solar PV system and energy storage system and NFPA codes.
I'll second that motion.
Okay, a motion's been made and seconded to approve the request from Jeri Hall for credit. Any discussion? Debbie, would you call the roll on this item?
Yes, sir. William Barlow,
Aye.
Elizabeth Bunga,
Aye.
Sara Young,
Aye.
Robert Lazalier,
Aye.
Rob McNeill,
Aye.
Ryan Richards,
Aye.
Richard Rudder,
Aye.
Al Shucker,
Aye.
Tim Spencer,
Aye.
Frank Sonovan,
Aye.
Vice-chair Jon Flegel,
Aye.
and Chair Thomas Kyle.
Aye.
Mr. Chairman, the motion passes unanimously.
Okay, agenda item 8. Is there any announcements or comments from board members? Okay, item 9. There being no further business, the November 16, 2023 Electrical and Elevator Board meeting is adjourned at 10:24. Thank you all.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you. Be safe.